I'll be kind of checking double screen. So, all right. Hi, everybody. This is Joy Packard. It is a Friday night. I cannot believe it. We are within 6 days of the SimplezonSeller event, and we are bringing to you another amazing speaker that will be speaking next week here in Houston. And this particular guest, I've been following him for years, and he's very popular. When I talk about him to a lot of people, he's very well liked, admired, and he does amazing things. And you're going to be amazed at some of the things that he's going to say and talk about and share with us. And so I want him to tell us a little about who he is. So Greg Murphy is here with us, and we're super happy to have you. So honored that you're coming. And can you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and kind of what you do?
Sure, Joy. First off, I want to say thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to being down in Houston with all you guys. I was 100% sure that I could make it until recently. There's some family stuff going on, but I'm really excited to be able to be there. And basically, I'm a bookseller, and I got to be a bookseller because I was broke. And I just started selling books that I got from my classmates, what was at home. And then I found out that you could buy truckloads of books. And I thought when I said truckloads that it would be the back of like a truck, like a pickup truck or something. Mm-hmm. And so I spent $1,000 on a truckload of books, and a semi showed up at my house, like just at my house. So we had to unload it and figure all that stuff out. And then I had to figure out, how do you go through 20 tons of used books? And so then we found out we built processes over time. And then I started a group of people. I started talking about it because.
Sorry, hold on a second. There we go.
Are we good?
Yeah, watch party was going double there.
Yeah, so I started a group and started telling people about it because really back then, this was about 9 years ago. And it was just lonely, right? There was nobody to talk about it to. And in fact, I would teach other people how to sell books just so I could have somebody to talk to about what I was doing. I'm down in the basement by myself listing books. This is before FBA was super popular. And so I was doing all that stuff. And then we pushed and did 145,000 in my first year, then 370. Wow. And then in year 3, we did $1 million.
Wow.
In used books, right? Where you're not selling books on general, the average price back then was $10 to $12, right? So it's a lot of books. And then from there, what happened is we found that out of a Gaylord, which is what we call the big bulk boxes of books, they weigh about 800 pounds. And out of those Gaylords, only about 10 to 20% back then could be used in some way on Amazon or the other e-commerce platforms. And so there'd be all these beautiful books that were laying around that I had to recycle, and it broke my heart. So eventually I tried a lot of things, and I tried to trade books in bookstores. And at one point I had $100,000 in store credit at a local Second and Charles. And it got to be where there was just too many of these great books. So I had to open a bookstore. And now we're 2 years into my first retail location. It's 20,000 square feet. And we have about 200,000 books, a half a football field worth of books. And we're doing about $300,000 in sales a year in that local brick and mortar bookstore.
That's incredible. I mean, when you say that, I'm just envisioning, 20,000 square feet and all those books. And, those who are coming on here, a lot of times people are like, can I make money with books? They've asked me that before. And, I think of Greg Murphy. That's who I think about. And yes, the proof is right there. And so you have one retail location. Are you thinking about possibly opening several? Or are you just going to focus on that one?
Yeah, we are. We're going to open. I always say I want to open 100 bookstores before I die. I have plenty of time, hopefully, right? So again, they're not all going to be massive ones, but what I'm finding out, Joy, is that the best books that I've ever seen in my entire life for Amazon sales are the ones that my customers bring right in the front door to sell me.
Wow.
And so we're getting just amazing books that walk right through the front door. And so we want to do that all around the country. And we also want to be able to save books from the landfills. And our goal is that for every book that we sell, we give one away, which is really amazing positioning for a business. So that's something that draws our customers to us. And in addition, one of the things that makes us super popular in the community is when people sign up for our email list, they get a coupon for a free book. Any book they want in the store, $4 or less, they can come in and get one for free.
Wow. And so I'm just kind of envisioning, like, do you have people like, do you say basically, okay, here's our store and you can drop off your books, and then I'm sure and you don't have to reveal where you get them, but I'm sure you have tons of methods as to where you get all your books. I mean, it sounds like you have this like, system down pretty good.
Well, now I'm not focusing as much on doing tractor trailer loads as I used to. But honestly, that's the easiest part. That really is, getting the books is the easiest part. That's the easiest part. The hardest part then is processing them, right? So I've had private clients that I've worked with before when we talk about, hey, what is your processing cost? What does it take for you to get these books in bulk, to go through them, sort them, and figure out what's saleable and what's not? And my cost at the lowest when we're running really hot through the line is about 2.5 cents a pound. And I've had clients that I work with that have had numbers that were 10 times that. It would cost them 25 cents a pound to process the books.
Right.
And so you're bleeding money all the time because you can't do everything. So you're hiring staff. And so it's all about processes. And that's why I named my business Bus-Proof Business, like bus-proof. So if something happens and, God forbid you get hit by a bus or something, like your business will run along right without you. We work on our business instead of in it. And that's what I try to teach people how to do.
Wow, that's so cool. And so how many people would you say in your 20,000 square foot warehouse do you have, doing everything that you're saying and to make this work?
Well, remember, this is not a warehouse. This is a retail storefront.
Yeah.
So we have 20, and so it's not that many. It really doesn't take that many people to run.
That's true.
So we have about, I think, 8 to 10 people that work there.
Okay.
At any given time. It's not a ton of people. And honestly, it does not take much. We get hundreds and sometimes 1,000 books a day that come in right through the front door.
Wow. That's amazing. Is there, whenever you have to figure out when it's profitable, I've heard of specific book apps that can tell you that. I can't remember the name of them offhand, but is that what you use, or is
there's a few of them. And it's less interesting what I use. It's more interesting what people that are watching this should use, right? If most people don't have a 20,000 square foot bookstore. Any of the mobile apps are fine, any of them. But my buddy Caleb Roth, he has his is called Scout IQ.
Okay,
that's the one that he uses. But there's tons of them, and any of them are fine. He's my buddy, and I think his is pretty good too. So Scout IQ is what a lot of times we recommend to people. But there's tons of them. Any of them that you just Google it, and any of them are fine.
And so how, if you use that, is there kind of a way to, I know that Scout IQ, like what you're talking about, and I've never used it, but I've wanted to if I was going to get back into books and stuff. Like, how fast would you say you could process? I mean, how many books can you do, say in 5 minutes or something, Well,
they're pretty, it depends on which mode you use, right? Like a lot of them, Chris Green's going to be at the event. He owns Scan Power with Paul. Right. And all of those applications, they have both a database. No, that's not true. Some of them have a live mode and a database mode, where in the database, obviously, it's a lot quicker because it's not worrying about internet speed. But even so, all the apps, when people are doing retail arbitrage or whatever, it's the speed of the internet that decides how fast you go. But it can be relatively quick.
Oh, well, that sounds super cool. I mean, like I say, when I think of books, there's a lot of people that think that they can't make it. And so whenever, I'm sure people who are watching now are on the replay. And if you are on the replay, just hit replay and let us know you were, and know that, it is completely possible. You see Greg doing this, and so how many years did you say you started doing this? Like with the
about 9 years ago now, at the end of 2009. Yeah. About things.
That's a long time to be doing. You know what you're doing. And
but to me, Amazon, and like when we get to, I know we're going to talk about this, but to me, Amazon is not interesting so much anymore because all the data now, the data used to be awful, but now it's great, right? Everybody has all the data at their fingertips. And so my competitive advantage with everybody that's watching here is not selling on Amazon. Anybody can do that. Once you get the book in FBA, right, there's no advantage at all. But instead, my advantage is building a business in my community that's going to last 100 years, right? Like we're building a resource, and every day it gets bigger. A customer comes in, they love the place, and they're going to come back for years. They're going to bring their kids. And we have a story time on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Wow. So it's free. Any of the kids that come in from the community get a free book. if they come in. And I'm just so excited because I'm thinking, wow, in 25, 30 years, these kids are going to bring their kids into this story time. And we're building something amazing here in the community. It's hard to get excited about customer service on Amazon because we all know people on the internet are awful, right?
Yeah.
So the only time you ever hear from customers on Amazon is when they're being jerks, right? So,
Right.
but every day we get to make people happy in the store. And I've never been happier than in my business life than when I'm in my local retail store.
Well, you're doing what you love, and I completely preach that. Do what makes you happy, because like you say, I mean, I do sell on Amazon. It is a way, but there are many ways to be selling off Amazon, doing what you're doing, building a local brand. And I think that that's so admirable. And I think about, wow, what an amazing goal, what you said at the beginning, where to build 100 of those all throughout. That's amazing, to have that. I'm going to post this link underneath this. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do on Mondays?
Okay, so yeah, if you go to busproofbusiness.com/Monday, every Monday at 2 p.m. we have a workshop. We call it the Busproof Workshop. And what that is we have right now over 1,400 people in the community are signed up for this to come check us out every Monday. And what you can do is sometimes we have Q&As and sometimes we have interviews with some of quite frankly, the smartest people I know, right? Last week we had another bulk book seller out of Denver, Colorado. Hey, Andy, how's it going, buddy?
Spotlighting
Andy's a
Andy.
good friend of mine. Yeah.
I love Andy. He's awesome.
So every Monday at 2 p.m. It's completely free, and you can come, you sign up, and it's a great time. So you can ask any questions you want. We answer all of them. There's the replay is free for a week. You can watch them. Wow. And yeah, it's a great time. People are building some amazing businesses just from the content they're getting from the interviews and from the Q&A.
Wow. So guys, underneath this, just check out his link of what he does every Monday. I'm definitely going to be looking at that myself. I'm super proud. Like I say, Andy's talking about, his comment about picking great people to interview. Well, Andy, these are speakers that are going to be speaking at our SimplezonSeller conference next week. And so next Thursday through Saturday in Houston, we have about 22 speakers on a 3-day conference. And Greg is one of them. I am super honored. And, I love that these people that are coming like Greg are just like, as you can see, even just from the short time that we've had him here on this interview, what he gives and like what he stands for and like, what he wants to do in his community. It's not just about, making, a buck, right? And making money. It's like, I see what Greg's doing and I see it like, building your legacy, like pass this on to your little girl, and pass it on to your children and then in your communities. And if you have 100 different stores, can you imagine? And so anyway, I'm super honored to have you there coming. And and like I tell everybody, I'm going to be having my notebooks right along with you, taking notes. I'm so excited to have so many of you guys in one place. And, I wish I had more spots. I think of Andy Slamans, Andy, here's Andy's thing. This is what he says about you coming. Andy's an amazing person too. He does some incredible stuff. I've been to some of his, things. And so, it's, and I talk about like the speakers like you, Greg, and all the other ones are coming, but also the attendees. I have many of you on here and many of who you are going to be doing on the replay, and the type of people that come, to the SimplezonSeller conference. Last year, we called it magical. And it just, people like, I know somebody, he'll probably be watching this. His name is John, and he's actually a preacher. And he's like, you have Greg Murphy coming to your conference. And I'm like, yeah. And he says, man, I have to be there, And so it's super exciting to have you, Greg, and all the things that you do. Do you, when you have your books in your store, do you have like a section of them where some of them are listed on FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, for those who don't know what that is?
Well, we do. So none of the books that are in the store that are available to customers are also for sale on Amazon.
Okay.
That's not true. We have some books that are behind glass that are collectible that are for sale on Amazon, but most of the books that we have for sale on Amazon and eBay and the other platforms are not available to the public. So we have them behind a wall where no one can see them.
Okay.
But we do send quite a few books to the Fulfillment by Amazon as well. Although I'm not with books, I have a lot of arguments with friends of mine about whether FBA is needed for books. For if you have the space for them in your facility. But I will tell you this too, Joy. I don't travel to speak. I don't do that. I don't have the time, right? So this is the only place outside of my event that I'm going to be speaking at all.
That's what I'm saying. I feel super, Chris Green's the same way. Chris does not travel. There are many people who actually are coming to this event that said that to me. They're like, I don't travel, but I'm going to come. And that's why I'm just like, thank you so much. I know. I mean, I spoke at 11 events last year, and it's tough. It's tough to get out. It's tough to, take time away from your family, from your business. And so those who are watching, believe it or not, we still have 2 discounted tickets. If you, come to the conference, you want those promo codes, message Greg, message myself. We have 2 deep discounted promo codes. We're not going to post it because we don't want that getting all out there. But if you say to me, I listened to Greg's interview, and you come to the conference, there's going to be a place for you to tell me that Greg did that. So if you want them, now is the time. We are 6 days away. Houston has 2 airports. We are within 6-hour drive of many major cities that you could fly into or drive from. And so, you heard Greg. He does not come to live events. He may not come to any more besides his own. Yeah. And it's tough, with him and Chris Green, like I say, and the other speakers that we have. We have Barrington McIntosh flying in from Jamaica. I don't know how often he's going to do that. And so I'm just, like I say, I'm in awe with all of you and super thankful and super privileged and honored to have you. And so, is there anything else that you want to add, Greg, before we let everybody go?
Well, I'm just really excited to see such a huge group of both of the speakers and the attendees. There's some people in my community that said, "Hey, Greg, I can't come all the way out to Dayton for Busproof Live, but because I'm down south or I'm out west a little bit, so I'm really excited that you actually get to come out here." So I'm excited to meet everybody and have a good time. So it's going to be great. I can't wait to meet all you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. So we thank you, Greg, for your time. We thank you, live viewers. We also thank you, replayers who are going to be watching this. Make sure that you reach out to us because, the tickets are going fast. Every time we do one of these interviews, it's like more tickets, are gone. And it's a very small and intimate conference to where you will be able to rub shoulders with the attendees and the speakers. We have our VIP dinner on the very first night. You can take a look at this link. There's different packages. And, like I say, we're putting our heart and soul into it. We have pulled together some amazing people all in one place. And so again, thanks, Greg. And thank you, listeners. And we hope to see you guys in Houston.
Awesome.
All right.
Talk to you guys soon.
Bye, everybody.